Ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and Droids, he's here! And let me tell you, we had the foresight to predict the future. I told you guys if I was confident about one thing, it was Kyle Katarn right here on the screen that is coming to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And the only negative thing I got to point out is that he's not going to be a legendary character. But hey, maybe there's hope. This guy did have several roles in the Star Wars universe. Imperial, turned Scoundrel, turned Rebel, turned Jedi. And speaking of the Rebel and Jedi, he's going to work with the Rebel fighters pretty darn well, and I think he might have a home with the Jedi. And on top of that, Chief Nebit, as well as Rebel Officer Leia Organa, have their Omicron reworks that we're going to have to take a little peeky peek at. Let's go ahead, hop on over to the forums. Can you tell I got a lot of energy today, baby? So we're going to start with the Kyle Katarn kit reveal, marquee character, and basically you just got to guess on one more. If you guys missed the card in the top right-hand corner, don't worry. It's not going to bite you. Mara Jade accidentally got out of the bag, so we know she's coming. My guess is probably going to be the fourth one. But nonetheless, we're still predicting what's going to be the last marquee character celebrating the Legends content that Star Wars has had to offer over the years. Kyle Katarn, Dash Spendar, Mara Jade, and one more to go. Let's take a look at this kit reveal. New Legends hero, Kyle Katarn. I made a little joke the other day. It's like a lot of Star Wars characters have names that really hit you hard. Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker. What's your name, sir? Kyle. I don't know. I wish he had a better first name. I don't know. Luke resonates better than Kyle, but nonetheless, the light side, attacker, rebel fighter, and Jedi. Holy tags. That's a lot of tags. Primarily Rebel Fighters seems to be the way to go, but wow, being able to work in that many teams is going to be great. So far, as you saw, Dash Rendar, he works in a lot of different Scoundrel lineups. I'm hoping this guy is going to work just as plug and play as we saw Dash Rendar. This should be interesting. Basic ability, deal physical damage to target enemy dividas 2 times. If it's Kyle Katarn's turn, inflict ability block for 1 turn. Otherwise, deal damage a 3rd time. So what this is talking about is the Rebel Fighter team. Rebel Fighters, everyone's going to be called to assist over and over and over again. And that would be pretty nice if he was able to inflict ability block every single time he was being called to assist. But instead, he's going to deal damage 3 times when he's assisting out of the Mo Money Mothma leader, which is definitely going to be nice. As we're going to scroll down a little bit, I love the name of the unique ability that he has there. Holy cow! This is one of the better looking animations I've seen out of Galaxy of Heroes, and that's saying a lot because there's not many that I like, but this one looks a lot of fun. Just the guy with the lightsaber cooldown of 3. Final text, deal physical damage to target enemy twice. If the target has Force Influence, the second instant of damage deals 75% more. And on top of that, all allies gain critical chance up and potency up for 2 turns, and that's a lot of buffs to be feeding over to the Rebel Fighters. And then when they're assisting, hopefully they're going to get more critical hits, which is going to help the Hoth Rebel Scout. When he gets those critical hits, he's able to stun and then take another turn when using a special. So all these are nice, especially the basic, making sure you're applying the buff community, for example, on Cassian's basic here. But Jedi Knight, we'll learn more about this down the road, but the first instant damage deals 75% more damage, and all Rebel Fighters recover 50% health and protection. You already got Mo Money Mothma, constantly healing on the basic, doing the Italian salute, as I like to call it. And she also has the revive and massive health and protection boost. Kyle Katarn's going to be a second wave, and we haven't even gotten to the Omicron yet in regards to this guy. Before Omicron, he's going to be pushing a lot of damage as well as health and protection recovery for the team here. That's going to be huge because Rebel Fighters already have decent durability. Oh, this might be more for territory battle viability as we're going to see down the road. That's where his Omicron's going to come in handy, but still, nonetheless, in a PvP setting, it's a beautiful. Next up, the Power of the Valley. Cooldown of 3, and here's where we got the Zeta. Dispel all debuffs on a Rebel Fighter allies. Mass cleanse, baby, and Mo Money Moth with the Italian salute. She's already got a buff debuff cleanse on a basic. Rebel Fighter allies gain defense up and speed up for 2 turns. Oh man, they already got a turn meter train situation. Speed up's gonna make that turn meter train last a little bit longer, baby. Deal physical damage to all enemies and inflict Force Influence on target enemy for 2 turns, which can't be copied. And if he's a Jedi Knight, inflict Force Influence on all enemies for 2 turns. And with Force Influence, what that means is you can't assist or counterattack or even gain buffs. Oh, but if you're a raid boss or a galactic legend, you get minus 30% counter chance. So it's not going to slow down Raze, for example, or Supreme Leader Kyle Renz that we saw the great nerf of 2021. They don't want things like Thrawn having that much control over a galactic legend character, but against non-GLs, oh, that is a lot to fill for the order right there. I love this right here. I mean, holy cow, everyone, hope you got your SWGoH degrees out and ready, and your Imperial Tactical Scanners version 3.0, of course. Blue Milcron, love the name of this unique ability. And here's where the Omicron's gonna kick in, which is gonna be the very last paragraph here. But let's start before the Omicron. At the start of each encounter, Katarn gains 10% turn meter for each other Rebel Fighter ally. So each other, so that's gonna be everyone else. That's 40% turn meter right out the get-go right there. And that's a big boost turn meter. We don't know the speeds, but as we saw with Dash is a really dang fast character. I don't know if we're going to keep pushing the speed race this year with Moff Gideon, Commander Tano, Dash Spendar here. Whenever a Rebel Fighter ally attacks on a turn, which is all the time, they gain 12% offense, which maxes out at 6% until the end of their next turn. So it's this constant build-up offense, empty, build-up offense, empty, rinse and repeat type of cycle with the offense. And whenever Katarn attacks on a turn, which is all the time, he gains a stack of force connection until the end of the battle, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented, and it maxes out at 10 stacks. But let's keep on going. What happens when you reach that 10 stacks of force connection? Well, he's going to reset his cooldowns. He's going to lose all stacks of force connection, and then he gains a Jedi Knight until the end of the battle, which can't be copied, dispelled, or prevented. And we saw what happens when you reach Jedi Knight. You essentially lock a new ability. I think the best way to describe this is Fury with Wrecker. He gains Furious, and once he hits 10 stacks, he's completely furious, and he gets all new things like AoE stuns, more health and protection and recovery for the team. Well, let's keep going. We're not done quite yet. At the start of each encounter, if the enemy leader is a Sith, Rebel Fighter allies have plus 50% defense and tenacity and plus 25% max health until the end of the encounter. Now keep in mind, Alliance Chancellor already has a lot of stat sharing and stat combination and then sharing. Adding this to the equation, and then we got the cleansing, we got the health protection coming from Mo Money herself and Kyle Katarn here. This team's gonna be crazy durable down the road. And then force connection, while you're building up those force connections, he's getting plus 2% defense and offense, and then it turns into Jedi Knight. But when he's in Jedi Knight status, Kyle Katarn, Rebel Fighter, gain 50% defense and offense, and he can't gain any more force connection. And this bonus applies to Jedi allies in territory battles. We've been talking most about the Rebel Fighters, but here we go. Now Jedis can get these benefits, but it's exclusively for territory battles. And speaking of territory battles, I'm assuming this is where the Omicron's going to be kicking in here while in territory battles, which is interesting. This is our first territory battle Omicron character. I mean, as we'll take a look at the other Chief Nebit as well as Rolo, Rebel Officer Leia Organa in a moment here. This is our first one that we're reading here today. So far, we've had a Grand Arena one of Rose Tico. We had a Territory War one of Captain Phantasmic, Dash Rendar's Grand Arena. This is our Territory Battle. In my opinion, as of now, Territory Battles is much more important, especially the light side is much more important than Grand Arena. Is it as important as Territory? I think that's up for debate there. But anyways, while in Territory Battles, enemies can't gain bonus turn meter. And there's a lot of bonus turn meter that goes on in territory battles. And force influence can't be resisted. But while Kyle Katarn attacks on a turn, which is all the time here, he gains an additional stack of force connection. And the bonuses of Jedi Knight also apply to other Jedi allies. And at the start of each encounter, all Jedi and Rebel Fighter allies gain 75% bonus protection until the end of the encounter. At the start of each encounter, Kyle Katarn gains 10% turn meter for each other Jedi ally. So we already saw his unique abilities getting turn meter for each Rebel Fighter. This is going to give him turn meter for each other Jedi ally, so he can get a lot of turn meter out the get-go here. He maybe he doesn't have a high base speed, but maybe the turn meter is going to help him get those plays when he's in the right lineup. I do got to say, we've been getting a lot of plug-and-play fast characters this year. This might be a way of balancing it, so you have to be in a specific team. But I do love my Moff Gideon. Don't get me wrong. So really excited to see this character. I think the only thing is people, as I said earlier, people might be bummed. This character definitely could be worthy of a legendary. I think maybe on the plus side is this is more focused on one particular moment of him, perhaps. I wouldn't get my hopes up too much for a Kyle Katarn legendary, but it's great seeing him in the game nonetheless. This is going to be a fan favorite character for a lot of people, and in case it's not clear, he will also be required for Star Killer with Dash Rendar, Mara Jade, and the last character we're still waiting on. My suspicious marquee character on Thanksgiving, perhaps. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe they'll move it till today or tomorrow. Whatever it happens, you guys know where to be. But hey, we're not done just yet. Let's move the ball and talk about Chief Nabbit. Jawas are already so much dang fun in the game. This is gonna make them even better for freaking territories. One of the easily top 3 most important game modes right now in Galaxies. If you're chasing after Relic 9 materials right now, we're just gonna go straight to the bottom. If you guys need to kind of have a mild summary of how Jawas work, it's kind of a fan favorite team around here. I like them more than a lot of other more recent teams. But anyways, thermal detonators with Jawa's Scavenger. While Jawa's being hurt, they're going to apply tons and tons and tons of thermal detonators into the team. Chief Nebit's going to double down on the thermal detonator synergy granted through the Scavenger. So Scavenger is still going to be incredibly important for this lineup. But if you're going to grant an Omicron to Jawas, when a Jawa ally deals damage to an enemy, again, strictly in territory wars, they dispel all buffs on the enemy. Boom, then for each buff dispelled, the enemy is inflicted with a thermal detonator for 2 turns. And I'll tell you why they're doing this, which can't be dispelled, prevented, or resisted. And you know why they're doing it? Because really, if you do see a Jawa in territory wars, people, or even Grand Arena, you guys see me do. When I see Jawas, I bring in a high tenacity team, whether it's Bass LaShawn or Captain Rex with the tenacity up, because I want to make sure we do not get thermals. Well, if Jawas get turns going, they're going to strip away all those buffs and open yourselves up for thermal detonators and let the pain start flowing in. We're not done yet. When an enemy takes damage from a thermal detonator, this is fun. Jawa allies recover 5% health and protection and gain 5% turn meter. And there's a 50% chance that enemy is inflicted with another thermal detonator for 2 turns, which can't be dispelled, prevented, or even resisted in this situation. So they're calling out those Captain Rex's tenacity. They're calling out the Bass LaShawns. You can't resist this one right here. This is going to be a ton of fun. Jawas are already kind of a very niche team to handle Rebel Fighters, handle Mandalorians, as we've seen recently, of Maul, handle, what other teams we got? A Geonosis, that's kind of when they first came to the limelight, and they worked well with Rey inside Challenge Rancor Raid Phase 1, for example. This is a team that's oddly had more uses than it probably should, and this is going to make it even more important for territory wars. Again, for me personally, I'm hoarding for Boba Fett's side of Django, but if you're sitting on a lot of Jawas, this might be a pretty solid defense. This sounds more defensive viability than Captain Phasma's. Captain Phasma felt pure offense. Throw a card to top right-hand corner. Big fan of her Omicron, but I think it's more for offensive purposes. And the last thing on the list here, we got Rebel Officer Leia Organa. Territory Battle Omicron, kind of like our boy Kyle Katarn from earlier on. I'm sure it's going to be good. It doesn't tickle my fancy here, but let me read it off to you. While in territory battles, Rebel allies have plus 35% speed. That's a nice boost right there. And Rebel allies recover 100% health and protection at the start of each encounter. Might sound weird, but the reason why it's in territory battles is because when you, let's say you had a nasty wave 1, you go into phase 2, boom, you're back up and running at 100% health and protection. So it's kind of like you're starting to battle fresh every single time. So that's where the incentive comes out of this. And whenever another Rebel ally is defeated as well, that's when you're going to get extra protection, health recovery. Kind of reminds me of Sith Eternal a little bit. When a Sith dies, everyone cleanses themselves to get their health protection back. Kind of a little bit reminiscent of how Sith Eternal operates. But furthermore, when a Rebel ally critically hits an enemy, all Rebel allies gain 5% turn meter, doubled if it's their turn. And that sounds a bit like Wedge and his lead. Lots of turn meter on the critical hits right there. And when a Rebel ally is defeated, all Rebel allies gain 100% of that ally's offense, which is stacking until they're defeated. So again, you're going to get all this pent-up offense. And maybe if Rebel Officer Leia Organa is the last one standing, oh, she can probably light the fire that sharded the resistance, as we like to say. Let's pull up her kit really quick so you can see how it goes. I don't know if this is really going to be appealing to me, but it is going to be important. Territory battles, light side is one of the more important game modes, and Rebels outside of Commander Luke don't really have a place inside of GOTB. This might make them a bit more viable in GOTB. I don't think it's really important for hot territory battles. When you look at Rebel Barrage, it's going to deal damage 10 times. And if you're landing, let's say 10 critical hits, what is it? That is 50% turn meter. All Rebel allies are going to get 5% turn meter, doubled if it's their turn. That's a lot of turn meter happening right there. But the point I'm getting at is, let's say she's the last one standing. She's going to drop a Rebel Barrage. This could do some pretty serious damage. Is it for me? She's not on my immediate list. Right now, if I had to pick them, I would definitely go for a Boba Fett sign of Jango. That's a no-brainer, but that's for someone in a situation like me. Star Killer, I'm suspecting will have Omicrons as well. Let's wait and see when that happens. And then if I wasn't looking at the game, Captain Phasma, Chief Nebit, is looking really dang enticing. There's already a lot of teams. The problem with territory battles right now, light side, isn't per se teams. We got the Galactic Legends. We got Commander Luke. We got General Anakin Skywalker, Shock T clones, Bad Batch. We have the teams. The problem is right now, there is a mathematical GP problem where even if you do well, you max out all the battles, you just can't get max stars in the last wave. So I don't know if we need more teams for TB. I think in one, they got to reduce the cost of how to get the max stars, or two, over time as rosters naturally grow in GP, then people could start max out TB. Not a single guild so far, 2 years later, has maxed out TB, and that's because there's simply a mathematical problem that hasn't been able to fill that deficit with the GP left over that people need after maxing out the battles in Phase 4. But ladies and gentlemen, Gunga the Droids, that's gonna wrap it up for today. I gotta say, I'm kind of excited about all this stuff here. Let's wait and see how good it turns out to be. I know Kyle Katarn, a lot of people are going to want to see how he's going to operate, so make sure you come on over to the biggest and deadliest Star Destroyer, where yours truly, the Grand Admiral, directed a video game division, and you know the rest. We'll be here waiting for you guys to arrive. Thank you so much for coming out today. Like, comment down below, and subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And always remember, it's great to be in the Empire today.